I'm just an office gal, and I'm also an anti-fat activist news anchor.
News flash.
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Hi, welcome. Good morrow, and welcome. Good day. Hello, happy Friday. I always want to say today is a very special episode. They're all going to be special. Today's episode, we're just going to jump right into it because mommy does have to work. I got plenty of time. But me do have to work, and also mommy's heated. Okay, so I'm gonna. This is This is gonna be the first of a few episodes where I'm gonna be reacting to the Jubilee surrounded episode of Jillian Michaels versus the body positivity movement. Obviously, I can't do the entire episode. Maybe I could. But I'm just going to be picking a few clips that definitely just got mommy heated. And actually, the very first opponent, I guess, are they opponents? Is that what they're called? Got mommy heated. And just wait, and we'll react to it. But it was just, I hate when people speak to other people. First of all, they speak to them like they're better than them, which, I mean, I don't know. I hate when people, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's just pretend smart. I don't know if that's the right word. Arrogance, but also like being arrogant, but also like pretending to be kind about it. And it just seems very performative to me. And you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. If you watch the video, it's the very first lady. You know exactly who I'm talking about. She's giving me the ick. So as soon as I was going to watch this entire thing, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh, yeah, let's wait. So I haven't watched all of the Jubilee episode, and I barely even started it before I had to shut it off. Because I don't want this to get copyrighted, I'm going to be doing plenty of stops, plenty of pauses, plenty of chit-chattery. And I'm also I put an overlay over it, to turn it into like a TV. So if that's annoying to you, let me know in the comments and I won't do that next time. Or I might do it next time. And I'm a little upset that I didn't find a Shrek TV overlay, because I might do that next time. So if anybody's watching me that does reactions, do not do that. I've already copyrighted that. I've already claimed it. For my next reaction to YouTube videos, I will be using a Shrek TV. Don't do it. And anybody in the comment section, and my subscribers, if you see anybody else using a Shrek TV, you need to tell me so I can go and bully them, okay? Before we jump in, for the longest time, I've forgiven her because forgiveness is way cooler than holding a grudge, in my opinion. It just feels better, right? But for the longest time, I absolutely hated Jillian Michaels. And I mean, she's probably still not my favorite person. Because obviously, and I think she knows this, so this isn't bullying or anything like that. She obviously knows that she's a bitch, but also, I'm a keto gal, right? And I've been ketogenic since like 2017, off and on, right? 2017, 2018. She attempted the keto diet, and I think she works out, right? So she obviously had some words against the keto diet, and she made up this like terminology and she said that keto gave you keto crotch, which that's not a thing. Like if you wash your fucking ass, you won't have that. But yeah, I just have held a grudge against her for the longest time, but I've since then forgiven her. She's into eating healthy. She's against the fat acceptance movement. She's an ally. So we're all, regardless of where you are in the world of whatever, if you are against fat acceptance and fat liberation, you're cool to me. So there. But yeah, I didn't like her for the longest time. I couldn't take her serious. I was like, she didn't even really give the keto diet a try, because I mean, for you to really feel effects of keto, you have to be on it for like weeks. I don't remember how long she tried it for, but she quit because her pussy smelled. I don't know. All right, so I hope this setup doesn't bother y'all. Actually, I wonder if I can change the TV screen color. Okay. Ooh, we're definitely turning it pink. Okay. There. Wow. Cuteness. Okay. I'm stupid. Oh God, I'm having fun already. Again, I do have to stop a lot of times because I don't want to get copyrighted, okay? So everybody just chill.
10L skit.
Are Americans fat phobic? And
yes, we are. Oh my God, already.
Obsessed with unrealistic beauty standards? Or has the body positivity movement normalized unhealthy habits and lifestyles?
Yes, they are absolutely normalizing and working their hardest to normalize unhealthy lifestyles. An example, the terminology and the verbiage that they use to make people feel less, I guess, guilt. I mean, you shouldn't feel guilt about your body. It's not a moral thing. You should always just want to try to be healthy. So, but my biggest like ick with them trying to normalize obesity is like their political stance on it. So they claim that being in a fat body is fighting fascism, being in a fat body is a political statement, being in a fat body is fucking over the patriarchy. And it's just like, girl, you just like to eat. You eat, and you eat a lot of carbs.
I'm John Regalado, and today we're going to have a...
He looks so familiar, and I couldn't figure out who he looked like. And then I was like, oh, he looks like the Prime Minister of Canada. I'll put a picture.
Debate about what it means to be healthy.
Jillian, how are you feeling?
Feel good.
Debaters, you ready to come at Jillian with your best arguments? All right, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Jillian Michaels.
This next patient's interesting.
I'm a fitness expert and a health advocate, and today I am surrounded by...
Oh, I forgot to, if you don't know who Jillian Michaels is, she got super famous from The Biggest Loser. She's like a fitness instructor. And then I think she did like her own like diet or exercise movies or whatever. She's like Tybo.
You make it happen!
Jillian Michaels' Body Revolution is a unique, intense,
Good!
90-day program.
You're going to be blown away.
But yeah, I actually used to be a fan of hers, but then the whole keto thing, and then obviously she's a bitch. So is she a bitch? Is that just TV? She's just a lady trying to live her life.
20 body positivity activists. All right, my first surrounded claim is that obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
Agree. I think, and I don't know if this will ever happen, but I feel like obesity, like fat liberation, normalizing obesity, normalizing fatness, fat acceptance, yada, 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 that whole like realm of people are almost on the same like level as people who glorify pandorexia. And I feel like they're going to be on the, well, maybe this is probably just a wet dream, but I feel like they'll be on the same restrictions online. Like normalizing obesity will be on the same restriction online in online spaces as pandorexia, pro panda. But I feel like they'll be on the same level as the other beating recorders, right?
So you want to be the first debater to get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Also, she's one of the skinniest people in the surrounding circle. And of course, she was going to be the first person to reach the desk.
I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty...
This is where I was like, oh, okay, shut off the fucking phone. Let's start brainstorming videos, right? It's performative. It's stupid. And obesity is a medical term. Yes, of course, there have been medical terms that have been changed because they are offensive or whatever. Those were, I feel like, were words that were rooted in like racism, I think, right? I'm not going to say what they are. You can look them up. But also, I mean, calling shell shock post-traumatic stress disorder makes sense because not everybody who gets post-traumatic stress disorder has been shell shocked, right? That's different. There's nuance. Everybody who's everybody who has obesity is in a fat body. So it's dumb.
pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat.
And then the other thing too, and I feel like they do this on purpose, is like she talks so fucking slow. I think I am going to speed this up just a little bit because I cannot stand it.
Bodied as we talk. Okay. Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering? Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Are we going to debate the claim? Yeah, I just wanted to... Yeah, I wanted to clarify, though, the language. Are we going to pretend like I'm 3 and you're my mommy?
Damn, dude. Look at her face. She has never been talked like that. She's never been talked to like that by anybody to her face in her life. You can tell. She is shook. And if anything, it probably hasn't happened to her. If she has, it probably hasn't happened to her since before the panorama because everybody has just been so nice. I love Jillian for that. I love Jillian for that. This lady, look at her face. She's shook. It completely, the balls. I wish I could talk to somebody like that someday. I could never. I think I'm too nice, but I'm also afraid.
Telling me how to talk. Wow.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Okay. So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes. Okay, where are you getting?
Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe she's gonna be like, where are you getting that? Bitch, look around.
Take a look around.
I was coming up with other words to call us. And I was like, I'm a fat rejectionist. But I don't think I'm ready to call myself a fat rejectionist until I lose a little bit more weight. So we're going to just keep working on it.
Getting that information.
Okay, so she asked, where are you getting that information? There's a fact check that Jubilee does. According to the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, excess body fat, particularly at levels classified as obesity, is associated with increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, certain cancers, high blood pressure, and premature death. However, body fat is not the only determinant of health. Physical activity, diet, quality, genetics, and metabolic markers also play major roles. However, having excess adipose tissue increases your risks for all of that above, right? Yeah, sure, like physical activity, diet, quality, genetics, metabolic markers, yada, 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 those also play into it, but just the excess body fat alone, their ability to increase the chances of you getting those diseases blows the other markers out of the water. So like if you and then the other thing too, physical activity, diet, quality, those two, like if you're not physical, if you're sedentary and you eat a shitty diet, you will get fat and you will get diabetes and you will die.
You will get chlamydia and die.
Okay, there are dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat. Dozens is causal, not
Correlated. No, that's not true.
How can you take yourself seriously? Literally. How can you take yourself seriously as a professional, as a mental health professional, and be like, no, that's not true. Like, it just feels like brainwashing to me.
There's no disease
Like she's been brainwashed. Not like she's trying to brainwash me, but it feels like she's been brainwashed.
that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. But obesity.
That's the other thing too with fat activists and fat liberation. Like they think like, oh, well, because, skinny people get this disease, then it's not an issue with fat people. Okay, but like look at if you've got 10 people in the room and they all have type 2 diabetes and all of them except for 2 people are fat, then wouldn't you like that's an okay correlation, like that's an okay situation to be like, oh, that being fat is correlated with type 2 diabetes, and then these 2 on the left who are skinny with type 2 diabetes, they're fucking freaks of nature, right?
Lends itself to all-cause mortality. Across that, I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board.
Have you heard of something called adiposopathy?
Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat.
And you understand how it works?
Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No.
Oh my God, you dumb. Oh my God, how could you? How embarrassing. There's no way that she's getting up again to talk to Jillian. I would be embarrassed. I would honestly, everybody in this circle is so brave because Jillian is a fucking shark. She is a shark. I'm terrified. Like, I would be terrified to talk to her because I would feel like a dumbass.
That's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting
New little fat cell.
Okay, fact check. What the fuck? Adiposopathy. Adiposopathy refers to dysfunctional fat tissue that contributes to metabolic disease. It is not simply excess body fat, but fat that has become biologically altered in ways that promote inflammation, insulin resistance, abnormal cholesterol levels, and increased cardiovascular risk. I feel like my lay person's brain is telling me that is the type of fat that just like sits forever. So your body stores fat for like excess energy. So like if you've been fat for super, super long and the fat has been sitting on your legs or on your arms for a long time, you don't work out, you eat like shit, you're just constantly gaining and none of that fat is going anywhere. That fat sits for so long. And in my layperson's brain, the way that I would describe it is it kind of just like goes rancid. So like if you keep fat on a counter, like a lot of fats are, you know, counter safe, or what is that the word? Or like pantry safe, like they're okay to keep out of the fridge. But if you leave the lid off of them or anything, they can go rancid, they can get sour. So like I feel like this excess body fat you've been fat for years, you're just continuing to gain fat, that fat that sits there just and doesn't go anywhere and is not being utilized just does get sick, just kind of like an old person. These fat cells get old, they get gross, and they make you sick.
Cells.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now, the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right? You get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand. And this is...
Ooh, that's interesting. I love an educational sitch.
Exceptionally dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen and they start screaming, literally.
Oh, okay. So like lack of oxygen to the fat cells because you're strangling them with giant fat.
And when they do, they release.
Oh my God, these people. Did you see her? She's just like, oh my God, this is absolute bullshit.
Can't get oxygen. And they start screaming, literally. And
oh my God, no, this is bullshit. Oh my God, I can't believe she's lying about fat.
When they do, they release cytokines, inflammatory proteins, right?
I want to pause.
Of course you do. I want to pause.
Okay. Oh, Jillian. I'm living. I wish that I had the balls. Maybe someday. I should get the balls now, though, so that when I do get thinner, I'm just not like one of those girls who gets thin. I am pretty bitchy, you guys. I just try to be nice to people in person. I am kind of bitchy, though. I mean, obviously, you watch the channel, you know I am kind of bitchy. I mean, there are bitchier people.
Wow. Because it's irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's so true, though. You don't know what you're talking about, lady. I didn't even catch your name.
So, Jillian, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me. You called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was
Talking to like a 3-year-old.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, queen.
I felt like I was talking to you very respectfully. You're talking to me very disrespectfully right now. Here's the thing. I want to... You're telling me you understand it, but you don't understand it. You fundamentally didn't describe it accurately. But what I understand is that... What's lipotoxicity? I don't want to talk about...
Okay, honestly though, Jillian, bad argument points. Like obviously this lady is a dumbass. She doesn't understand that stuff, right? Let's get into a different argument. Like you're just I don't think that this type of arguing is a good tactic because it's right off the bat Jillian is coming off as arrogant. So I will give that lady, you know, I will give that to that lady. But yeah, this is just, it's like, let's get into the argument. Let's let her talk and then you rebut. Obviously, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, but just like, let's listen to her. I want to hear I also want to hear some more dumbassery.
I am not, okay, here, I'm going to say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor, okay? So I'm not going to talk to you about medical diagnosis because that's outside my scope and I'm fully willing, hey, I'm fully willing to be wrong. What I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that's what you...
The O word. Oh my God, bitch. Okay, does anybody else think of like, am I 10 minutes in already? Has anybody, yeah, oh my God. Does anybody think, when somebody says the O word, do you guys automatically go obesity or do you also think orgasm?
Litigate? Yeah. Okay, that's not the claim though. The idea that O word. So that's what you want to litigate?
Yeah. Okay, that's not the claim though. The idea that...
Yeah, this lady wanted to come up and be like, I don't want to talk about what's dangerous about obesity. I want to talk about the fact that the word obesity is wrong, which, dumb.
Fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
Are you wrong?
No, I'm not wrong.
Yes, you are wrong. You are wrong. Wrong! Are there people out there who are less unhealthy in a fat body than some other people? Yeah, because like body diversity exists. Whatever. Are there people who are in fat bodies that are probably healthier than me? I weigh 175 pounds right now. 176. I haven't pooped yet. Yeah, of course. I am sedentary. I haven't been to the gym since I've had my Hashimoto's flare up, but I do want to go back to the gym this weekend. I have Hashimoto's PCOS, insulin resistance. No, I don't have insulin resistance anymore. She's healed because I'm losing weight. But and eating better, not like an asshole. But are there people out there who are healthier than me that are in fat bodies? Absolutely. We've known people who were in fat bodies who didn't even have issues. And that's the problem too, because they wait for some kind of health, problem or health scare to get the weight loss, like to get weight loss, to pursue weight loss. Like that happened to me. So like I was in a fat body for most of my life, and then it took like a cancer scare for me to be like, okay, well I should probably not eat like an asshole.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not
There's a
wrong.
robust amount of data.
I'm not wrong. Okay, so let me finish the thought.
See this lady, why did you go first? Why did you go first? Do you not watch Jillian Michaels? Like, have you not seen The Biggest Loser? Have you not, like, she's a goddamn shark, right? Why would you go first if your only argument is like obesity is a bad word and fat people are healthy? They are not inherently not healthy. No. If you're in a fat body, first of all, the just the growth of excess fat is a sign of like inflammation and unhealthery, right? Unhealthiness. Like if something is making you super duper fat, something's wrong, That's not normal. I know you guys are trying your hardest to normalize this, but it's not.
Let me finish my thought first. Okay. You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health status.
So fat is an endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc in the body. I didn't finish telling you what happens. So
yes, she's absolutely right. It is. They're saying that the fat on your body, just like your skin is an organ, the excess fat around your body acts as an endocrine organ and causes loads and loads of hormonal issues. Like it did for me.
So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells.
Okay, so I guess everybody's raising their flag now, meaning that does that mean that they want to kick this lady off? Or does that mean that they also want to talk to Jillian? I'm not sure.
They'll die.
No, so not true.
And they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it out.
Do you know what's even more unhealthy?
Is weight cycling. And as we talk.
Oh my fucking God, lady. They even say like weight cycling sucks, but like I think I've read this. I could have dreamt this. Listen, I'm just a regular person, okay? But I feel like they've said, or I've read somewhere that even weight cycling does suck, but living in that fat body for 10 years is worse than cycling your weight for 10 years. So like, and the thing too is like, what's her idea of weight cycling? Is her idea of weight cycling going from 500 pounds, starving yourself until you're 200 pounds? That's unhealthy. Yeah, clearly. But if weight cycling to you is like, okay, I've lost 50 pounds, I kept it off for a few months, and then I started slowly gaining again, and then again this down 50 pounds. Like I feel like that's because you're making good choices. If you're making good choices and you're not hurting yourself while you're while you're losing the weight. So if you like cut out your carbs and then you go from like 500 pounds to like whatever lower, that you're making those good choices in between your weight cycling. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I could be a terrible person, and I don't even know if you saw my hand. You didn't. It was right there. So if you go from 500 to 200, but you're doing it healthily, you're increasing you're doing less bad than living in a fat body constantly. I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm stupid.
And as we talked about earlier, only except for your people who
claim. If you want to talk about that claim, we can. The claim is.
So then what are you supposed to do though? So let's say this person is in a fat body and they are inherently unhealthy, right? We're telling they're unhealthy because they're in this fat body.
This dumb bitch reminds me so much of my stepmom. My ex-stepmom. My current stepmom is a sweet lady.
98% of the time. So what is
cause mortality?
For me, intentional weight loss fails 95 to 98% of the time.
Oh my God, this has been debunked time and time again. Sam at Every Size has made a video about this. If you are interested in how it's been debunked, do that.
So what is
you would probably.
Okay, the fact check by Jubilee. See, I feel like, okay, does anybody else agree that Jubilee has kind of like switched sides? I feel like Jubilee used to be like very, very, nice, I guess. And I feel like in the past, Jubilee has, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe again, I've dreamt this, but I feel like Jubilee used to be a little bit more pro fat, but I'm not 100%. If I'm making that up in my brain, don't tell me in the comments. Okay, there is no strong scientific evidence supporting a universal 95 to 98% failure rate. Research shows many people regain weight over time, but outcomes vary depending on how success is defined. One comprehensive review published in American Psychologist found that that about 1/3 to 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost in long-term follow-ups, and it did not support a precise 95 to 98% failure rate. I feel like also a lot of fat people, they think that you lose all the weight, you're eating healthier, you lose all the weight, and then when you get down to your goal weight, you can start eating like a fucking dickhead again, and that's not the case. Obviously, yes, you will regain the weight. But the thing is it's not just weight loss, it's the lifestyle change. You have to change your life. That's how I've been able to, I know I called it a plateau, but I was really just maintaining. But I lost 40 pounds and I maintained that for 2 years. That's not maintenance is difficult to do because you get to a good goal and you just feel like you can just eat like a dick again. And no, you have to remain on the diet that got you to where you were at, or that got you to your new body size. So I had to keep eating ketogenic. The only way that I started losing weight again with the ketogenic diet is adding movement, increasing my fat intake, and I started tracking my food again. So I'm not counting calories. I'm more like focusing on percentages and then timing my protein and my carbohydrates and keeping my blood glucose low. That's how I've been able to lose a little bit of weight again. And then also, fixing my insulin resistance. It's been hormonal for me. It's not just like calories in, calories out works. Yes, clearly it does. But the way that I've been focusing on my weight loss is focusing on the hormonal aspect of it. So timing my food intake, timing my protein intake, timing my carbs, keeping my blood glucose low. And that's it. And that's how I've been able to reverse insulin resistance ketogenically. High fat, you guys. Mommy loves fat.
What is the either? You would probably do this better than me.
Because weight is not an individualistic pursuit. You narrow it down to this idea that it's causal, like that you're just not trying hard enough. But
I didn't say that. It's multi.
Yeah, I feel like people always put shit in other people's mouths, and I just hate it.
By factorial. Unquestionably. A lot of people lose weight. Problem, right, is that they put it back on. Are we in agreement? Yes, okay, great. Why do you think, okay, we got my pause? God damn it, alright? Sorry, John. Getting somewhere. Yeah, we try and voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat. Okay.
Boo! We hated her. Alright, I'm gonna do one more person and hopefully it's not too long.
Hello. Hi. I have lived in a fat body for as long as I can remember. And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending
that we're okay with it. What I want to say here is,
I feel like there is a lot of people though who are pretending that they're okay with it. I feel like a lot of people are doing the whole fake it till you make it. Did I listen to that correctly?
are pretending. I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it.
What I want to say here is I live with autoimmune disorders, I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent.
Okay, neurodivergent babies in the comment section. Is that a good excuse? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have neurodivergency in themselves. I'm one of those people who probably does, but I just, I'm like an old school I'm like an old school foreign mother. I'm like, nope, my child does not have anything wrong with them.
My son don't have ADD. He just like to jump.
I can say that because my mom's from the Philippines, okay? She has been like that before. She's like, no, your brother's not autistic. And I'm like, mommy, yes, he is. Anyway, I don't think that that's a good excuse. I mean, I know it's hard. I know some people with neurodivergency, they have issues with specific foods and even timing when they eat, or even with dopamine seeking. So I get that. But there are, there's treatment. There's always treatment. Maybe I'm stepping on toes. So let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comment section if you believe that neurodivergency is a great excuse to live in a fat body. I personally do not. And then also the autoimmune thing. It's not impossible to lose the weight. I can see if you're on steroids why that would make you gain weight, but it's also like you need to do some research on like what hormonally, it's hormonal. Weight gain is hormonal for a lot of people, especially if you live with autoimmune or whatever, right? Hormonal. And when I say hormonal, I don't mean like estrogen. Yes, it plays a part, but I'm talking insulin, right? So what is making you eat so much? Why are you having a hard time losing the weight? It's most of the time, especially if you have autoimmune or hormonal issues, it's carbs. It's carbs. I know I'm a ketogenic baby. I'm not trying to sell you the ketogenic diet. I'm telling you that if you are sedentary and you're not an athlete, you don't run, etc., you shouldn't be eating carbs.
And this is, the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate this life. I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is. But it must be done.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it must be done. I think that especially if you were living in a body that holding that excess body weight is more painful, like it sounds like she maybe has some kind of joints issue going on, if it's painful to hold your own body up. You would, if that was my case, I'd be like, I need to get this fucking weight off fast. Like I'd be trying anything I could to, and again, my motto for the year is whatever it takes, right? I'd be trying anything I could to make sure I get this goddamn weight off.
Know that I agree with you.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
Well, tell me why you think it must be done.
Because I've worked really hard to not have this.
What does that mean? Like you beat yourself up in the gym or something?
No, I don't. That's not fun.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What I mean is that I grew up with a number of undiagnosed conditions. Mm-hmm. And even I can think back to like middle school, and I couldn't keep up when the PE teacher would make us like run laps. And I'm like, this is physically aching me. And
Dude, that was me. I refused to run. I've already told my husband that if there was a zombie apocalypse and the zombies can run, I would sacrifice myself because I'm not running. Ever. Never. I'm never going to run. If they walk, though, I guess I could run. But I'm not. Am I never going to run? I know I'm super like ancestral and like people are built to survive. If I had to run, I would run. But I wouldn't mind sacrificing myself. If it was the end of the world, he wouldn't let me do that though. You guys know that Michael would not let me do that.
I didn't understand why. And I didn't understand why because I grew up with a single parent, undocumented.
Dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? What does your single parent have to do with your ability to run in PE when you're in elementary school? I just like, what the fuck are we talking about, you guys? Like, why do people like this have to bring shit up like that? We're talking about obesity being unhealthy. Why are you bringing up your single mom because you can't run in PE? God damn it!
I tell you!
As a single parent, we were bound to the medical system that we had access to. I've done what I needed to do a number of times.
People are already voting her out because they're like, this is stupid.
Try to lose weight.
What did you try? Tell me. I've I've worked at...
Okay, already, immediately, she didn't have a list. If you want to have an argument, I've tried everything, you need to have that goddamn fake list remembered, memorized. What did you do? Oh, I've tried the cayenne pepper diet. I've tried the baby food diet. I've tried pescatarianism, veganism. I've tried carnivore. I've tried keto. I've tried it all, right? Sell it. Why didn't you have this fucking ready? Why aren't you ready?
Why is no one ready?
Why aren't you ready?
I've worked out at the gym. I've tried to do Pilates. Even yoga.
Yoga is great for flexibility. I wouldn't say yoga is good for weight loss, but let me know if you disagree. I mean, most people who are yogis are like yoga people are thin, but I don't think it's from yoga. I think it's because of like de-stress and they eat well. Because I've known a lot of people who are fat when I was fat, who are super into yoga every day, yoga for life. And they're fat because guess what? They eat carbs.
That hurts me. Okay, so the exercise causes you pain. The exercise causes condition. Okay, no, right.
Okay, so eat better. If exercises causes you pain, eat better. Eat non-inflammatory foods. Especially if you have autoimmune disorder, eat non-inflammatory foods. Stop eating like an asshole.
Right, I'm with you. Dieting, for example. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that food makes very much sense to me in my neurodivergent brain.
Oh, okay, I get that. Poor girl. Poor gal.
This is why mechanistic eating actually helps people who are neurodivergent, and the research in my neurodivergent brain. This is why mechanistic eating actually helps people who are.
Okay, why are you whispering, Jillian? I'm already fucking deaf, and this is at 100, bitch. God damn. Okay, she said this is why mechanistically eating helps people who are neurodivergent.
Are neurodivergent, and the research supports that because it doesn't have to make sense to you. Okay. In other words, it's like you eat on these schedules and you eat these foods and you eat this much, hence the concept, right, of mechanistic.
I don't like that.
You understand that you
Yeah. I get that. Good for her.
don't like it, but you'll have to decide which you don't like more. Carrying the weight or the mechanistic eating, because it actually could be helpful. There are other ways.
This fucking bitch.
But you told me you tried them. I tried a whole lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker. I work with youth. There are a lot of. Let's go back to you.
Yes, Jillian.
Yes, I'm saying for me, right? There are many things.
So I'm not neurodivergent, but I have a neurodivergent brother, and I have my husband who is ADHD. Does that count? That counts, right? Mechanistic eating, mechanistically eating on a schedule for my husband, I feel like that's a little bit difficult, especially with his job as well. So having food that is easy to make, I think this would help her if she meal planned, maybe not meal planned like cooked ahead, but like had a list of 3 foods, because I do this myself. I have like foods that are like my obsession food. So like and if you follow me on Instagram or if you look at my posts, there are days where I just have noodles, like an entire week of noodles. There's an entire week of just ground beef bowls. There's an entire week of just like this week we've already had surf and turf tacos twice. Like it's going to be, and I'm probably going to have them again before the weekend. If you just create a list of just 3 foods that have all of the macros that are necessary for you, and you just obsessively eat, like if you just cycle those, I feel like that could help somebody. I don't know if this is just me like talking out of my ass, but like when I eat the same thing, and it's all macro, like it's all within my macro. So I'm not depriving myself of anything except for carbohydrates, which is not deprivation. It's not an essential. Carbohydrates aren't an essential nutrient. They just are helpful if you're like exerting energy, and I'm not. So I use fat to do that. But like all of the foods that I do cook are nutritionally dense for my body. So if she could take some time away from her work and away from activism or whatever, and come up with like 3 different meals that were within her macros, that she could probably, I'm sure she has like a feeling of fullness that she desires. This is just me guessing and judging. I'm sure that she can come up with something that's also very, very filling, which I think is another helpful, bit of advice. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butthole.
Things that I'm more concerned about than my weight. My body is not the most interesting thing about me.
You just brought up your weight and said, I don't see a way out of this.
Right.
I tried everything.
I take care of it in the ways that I can, and I've found works for me.
Okay, but it sounds like you're not taking care of it, though. Like, you literally said that it's hard for you to walk. Not that it's hard for you to walk, but that it's painful to be in a heavier body, which is a red flag to me. Like, if it was painful for me to be in this heavier body, if it was hard for me to carry this around and walk around with it, change it immediately if I could.
But you just told me it didn't work for you.
But it works to an extent.
You just told me it didn't work for you.
It works to an extent.
And this is an irrelevant conversation if you're happy with it.
I stand on 10 toes down, but we are not pretending
that there's healthy at any side.
Okay, this is like, you're supposed to be arguing about the health aspect, that obesity, like what's the claim that obesity, glorifying obesity, not glorifying, I don't know if that was the word, but like normalizing obesity is harmful. And this lady is like, we're not normalizing that, we're not doing this. No, the argument is like, try to tell me that it's not,
Guys,
if you don't have an argument against Jillian's argument, don't go to the chair. Don't go to the chair, you guys.
Absolutely.
Elements and aspects of the movement that do put that messaging into the universe. I've had those debates, as you've said. I've had numerous debates with people who are body positivity activists that try to tell me that they can be healthy at any size. And it's just not the case. And I disagree with that. And I can you've used shame as a...
God. See, it's like they go into like, it sucks that everybody voted her out. they were getting somewhere. Yeah, I do kind of hate that. I kind of hate that. Like they were getting somewhere, and you get 20 minutes of this single claim, and there's only 8 minutes left.
The vehicle.
Hey, I'm sorry, we have to pause. You've been voted out by the
He looks exactly like the Prime Minister of Canada. It's so nuts to me.
majority. Please return to your
All right,
seat.
everybody, that is episode 1 of this Jubilee nonsense with Jillian Michaels and the fat acceptance community. I am excited for this little mini series that we're going to be doing. Again, let me know if the TV whole thing is good enough. I'm trying to not get in trouble. So we are going to pick this up again next week. I don't know if it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, but stay tuned. If you haven't already, please consider giving me a subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and like the video. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, please, in the comment, leave me a stick of butter because mommy's keto. All right, everybody, have a great weekend or weekday if you're watching this like earlier in the week. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for chilling and chatting with me. Talk a little trash about some of these bitches.
Trash.
And goodbye. Okay, Polly. Polly, okay, come on. Come over here. Say hello to the camera. Come here, come here, come here. Show the audience you want to see. Come here. Come here. This is Mommy's little baby girl. This is my girl. I'm like Mommy's babe. She loves her mom. You want to be on the show? No snorting into the mic. Eyeballs. Icky, icky eyeballs. Are you Mommy's girl? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, I gotta film. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I can't. Oh, my best friend. You are my best friend. Oh, you're so thirsty. I love you.
Last day I knew you were my pet. I wanna tell you that I love